Hello, one and all. This is my view of My Hero Academia, Chapter 379, Hopes. And right off the bat, I freaking love this color page. Seeing Gentle and Labrava depicted as the heroes they are belonging on the front cover is so amazing. It is so freaking amazing. And also, my man Gentle, I mean, he is looking absolutely fantastic as he's sipping on that tea, but I think this dude has put on some serious muscle mass since he went to jail. Either that or I am completely forgetting what he used to look like. Not sure about that. Anyway, though, then we have Lady Nagant. I am so excited. I'm so excited about this part. Because last chapter I figured, okay, the government went to her like they did to Labrava, and Gentle said, hey, you want to be a hero? You want to help us take down Shigaraki? And she said, yeah, sure, why not? Deku has inspired me. Just like he inspired Gentle and Labrava. But in the back of my mind, there was a part of me that was wishing, that was so hoping that Lady Nagant basically just, snuck out of her own hospital room and crawled to the roof and just fired wildly. And that is true. That is actually the case. She literally, essentially crawled out of her hospital room and got to the ceiling and fired without anybody giving her approval or permission. I mean, this one hero is like, all right, go ahead, go nuts. But nobody actually gave her the all clear, and for a very good reason. She was badly wounded when All For One, blew her up. So much so her body's basically being held together by stitches and staples, and when she fired that first shot, her body blew up. It kinda blew up, and there's just blood freaking everywhere. But even after that, she fired a second shot. Even in that state, she fired a second shot and managed to shoot off Shigaraki's other hand. Oh, that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. And it might have killed her. It honestly might have killed her. I mean, I think if it had, we would have gotten a shot of her, lying in the ground, bleeding out or something like that. But thing is, I'm not really sure what her role is going to be in the future if she is still alive, because, she is very much a wanted criminal. I mean, she was kind of framed by the government, but she's still a wanted criminal, and it's not like they're just going to allow her to go free. So what's the deal with that? Are they just going to say, oh, she helped in the fight against Shigaraki, so she's out on parole? I don't know. I really don't know. I have so many questions about the future of Hero Society after everything is said and done. Anyway, though, then we have All For One, who is very annoyed by her shooting him. And he is, more frustrated than I've seen him at any point in this series. The only other time that's come close is probably got to be, the ending of Vigilantes, where nothing really went according to his plan. But anyway, though, as he is just screaming and ranting over and over again, a whole bunch of fingers start pouring out of his mouth as Shigaraki breaks free. Yeah, it turns out that little Tenko Shimura kid we saw inside of him a number of chapters ago that we thought, oh, that's his innocence, that's his cuteness, that's a part of him that still wants to be a hero. No, that was his core, which he hid from All For One long enough for All For One to, weaken himself, to lower his guard, whatever, so that Shigaraki was able to break free and take total control of his own body back for himself. So awesome? I mean, I figured this would happen eventually, but I thought it'd be, Deku and Shigaraki facing off against All For One themselves, and instead it's goddamn Shigaraki taking control of his own body by himself, and this is fantastic. This is utterly and completely fantastic, because All For One, I mean, he is a good villain, he is like a demon lord, he is pure freaking evil, but Shigaraki is more than that. He's not just evil, he's complex. He has this backstory we know about, which is tragic and heartbreaking and all of this. And you feel bad for him, and you also hate him, and you also kind of like him. And it's just all these mixed emotions together that make him such a fantastic villain, while All For One is, quite literally faceless. And that is almost kind of boring. So the final villain that Deku needs to face off against, being Shigaraki, makes way more sense than it being, All For One. But anyway, though, then All For One tries to get Kurogiri to bring his main body over to Shigaraki's body, and Kurogiri kinda glitches out, saying, I am protect, no, Shigaraki, have to, who, where, she, friend. And this makes a lot of sense. I mean, Kurogiri's brain is very much broken for a whole bunch of reasons. But one reason I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about is the fact that Kurogiri's prime programming is protect Shigaraki. That's what you must do above all else. And All For One is basically saying, teleport me to Shigaraki so I can eat his soul. And that's, not really protecting him. So I think that contradiction is just kind of breaking core gear. He knows I need to listen, I need to obey All for One, and also I need to protect Shigaraki. And those two orders are just really contradicting right here, and that's causing his brain to break even more so. Oh, poor Gary, poor core Gary. But anyway, though, then Shigaraki is free. Finally and completely free. And he's so busy celebrating this, he doesn't seem to realize, oh, I have been grabbed by Deku, and he has thrown me outside of UA. Seriously, he looks utterly, completely befuddled here, like, how exactly did this happen? I was on UA, and now I'm in the sky. What exactly happened between those 2 points? I love it, as Deku basically realizes, yeah, there's no real point keeping him in UA if Aizawa and, what was his name? Minori? I always forget that dude's name. The dude who's copying Aizawa's quirk can no longer nullify Shigaraki's quirk. It makes way more sense to bring him down to ground level, where, yes, Shigaraki can destroy everything for many, many blocks, but I'm fairly certain, this neighborhood has been completely evacuated, so there's not really too much he can do here. Meanwhile, back in UA, he could destroy the entire thing and kill everyone inside of it, which would be, much, much worse. And also, oh god, I just love this one little detail. In the corner of the page, you can see the dude with the spiral hair who was in the business class or whatever. He is filming this. He left the safety of whatever room he was in to go outside to film this because he wants to be there. He wants to see, and he wants to record this for future generations so they can know what happens. They can know how this battle to save all of Japan, save all of the world, actually ended. And that is how he is being a hero. And then we get this final freaking page, which, holy mother of God above, this is intense. This is seriously intense. As we have UA falling in the background with Gentle holding it up, and Deku holding onto Shigaraki with basically a leash, as if he's a wild animal. And, based on his face, he might actually be one. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so utterly freaking beautiful, and I love it. Though I am seeing a lot of people online who are complaining about his final words, I also can't pretend I didn't see you crying in there. And I get what people are saying. They're like, oh, Deku's being too soft. He's trying to save Shigaraki when Shigaraki doesn't deserve to be saved. And that is, partially true. We also can't forget the fact that Deku is a hero. He is, the number one hero, future number one hero, whatever. He will go out of his way to try and save everyone. And that includes villains. And it's also worth noting, he's not saying, I'm gonna save you, or I forgive you, or anything like that. He's just acknowledging that he saw his tears. He's acknowledging there is a part of Shigaraki that is a scared little boy, even now. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna be like, okay, you know what? We're gonna save you, we're gonna redeem you, we're gonna have Eri revert you back into a child, so that way you can grow up and live a normal, ordinary life. Even though that is my fan theory, and I know how insane that sounds, but what I think Deku is actually saying here is that he needs to acknowledge how Shigaraki became who he is. He needs to acknowledge how Shigaraki became this villain so he can stop the next Shigaraki from becoming a villain, so he can stop the next kid from becoming a villain, becoming a monster, throwing their life away. He wants to be a hero that saves everyone, and that means stopping kids from going down the wrong path. And this is something I think has been very clear for a very long time. Here society is broken. Here society is utterly and completely, overwhelmingly broken, and something needs to be done to fix it. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I'm sure Deku has some sort of idea about how to reform things moving forward. That's going to be interesting. And, we even saw it last chapter, Gentle stopped an entire prison of inmates from escaping because he knew if they ran away, there'd be no second chances. They would go to jail for the rest of their lives. That was, his way of basically protecting their futures. So, yeah, the epilogue of the series is going to be some sort of new Hero Society where people are free to make mistakes and then make amends for them, where they're able to get second chances if they deserve it. Obviously there are people like Muscular who absolutely in no way deserve a second chance, but there are also people like, Gentle and Brava who can actually turn their lives around if they are just given a helping hand and told, hey, you can redeem yourself, you can become a hero. Oh, I love that. I freaking love that. But please, let me know what you think down below. What's actually going on with All for One here? Is he going to actually get to this battlefield? And if so, is Shigaraki going to fight him? As weird as it might sound, we still might get Deku and Shigaraki facing off against All for One, as, they basically agree, hey, we both hate this dude. You want to just kill him right here now? Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely, but I would so freaking love to see that. I think I think it's a fairly good chance that Shigaraki will be able to beat All For One on his own, I guess. I mean, he has, the power of All For One. He has his enhanced body, has all these quirks inside of him. He may not have, the actual experience with using them, but I still think he could win. It would probably be close, but I still think he would win. Anyway, though, let me think down below, and until next time, peace!